Hi guys, so for today's video we are going to compare the classic types of crochet hook, which are the inline hook and the tapered hook. For the inline hook, I have here a Susan base, which is 4 millimeters, and for the tapered hook I have here an 8 millimeter hook, which is a generic hook and a generic aluminum hook. So we will be comparing some significant differences between these two types of hook. And just a disclaimer, I am no an expert regarding crochet hooks or even crochet. What I will be sharing with you are just based on my experiences and my own learnings, because I did some research since I get started, I get serious with crochet, and I am a self-taught crocheter, and I was able to do some workshops before also. By the way, I have another video which features the anatomy of a crochet hook. You might want to check it out so that it would be easy for you to relate or to understand what I'm talking about here when I'm going to compare the different parts of a crochet hook in terms of the inline and the tapered hook. For the inline type of hook, I'm going to take this Susan Bates, which is a very classic example of an inline hook. And for a tapered hook or tapered type hook, you can have boy or bowie hooks. But since I don't have that type of hook, I'm going to take this aluminum generic hook, which I can say is a tapered one. So first, we're going to compare the head part of the hooks. So the head part is this, the working end of the hooks. I'm going to take this inline hook first, and I will put it this way. So from the shaft, this is the shaft, down to the head or down to the point of the head, you can see a straight line there. Or let me put it this way. From the shaft up to the head, you can see a straight line there. So that's for an inline hook. While for a tapered hook, from the shaft, this is the shaft or the shank of the hook, down to the head, you can see that the head is angled down here. So it goes down. So there is an angle. The head goes down. It's not in line with the shaft. Or let me put it this way. This is the shaft or the shank. And when you trace the sides, it angles on that side. Or if in this way, from the shaft, the head angles up. So it's not in line. The head is not in line with the shaft. Or if we're going to examine also on the other side of the shaft down to the head, you can see that on this side still the head is in line with the shaft. So for the inline hook, the head is just in line with the shaft. While for the tapered hook, we'll put it this way. The head is a little bit what shall I call this? When we trace the shaft, the head is somehow not on the line with the shaft or the shank of the hook. Let me get another hook so that I can trace the line properly. See here. Somehow this head is a little bit forward than the shaft here. That is for the tapered hook. Or the head is a little bit protruded than the shaft or the shank of the hook here. So it's protruded. And also, if we will put it this way, if you're going to trace the sides of the shank, somehow the size of the head is more or less similar to the size of the shaft or the shank. it's not tapering down. So you can see here, somehow the size of the head is just more or less similar with the size of the shaft. While for the tapered, this is the shaft. From the shaft down to the head, it tapers down. So more or less, the head of a tapered hook is smaller than the size or the diameter of the shaft of the hook. And for the point, so the point is this very end of the head. For an inline hook, they have a very pointed point, or a sharp point here. Unlike a tapered hook, it's not that sharp. Since their head is a little bit smaller, it's easy for this type of hook to poke through stitches, while this one, which is the head is not tapered down, they need to have a sharper or pointed point to be able to poke through stitches. So here it's not that pointed, while here it's more pointed. Or shall I say that for the inline hooks, their point has a very sharp finish or pointed finish than the tapered hook, which is a quite rounded finish. Next that we're going to compare is the lip of the hook. So the lip is this one. It's a protruded part of the head. So this one, that is the lip. So when we look at this way, in this way for the inline hook, they have a very thin finish of the lip, whereas for the tapered hook, they have somewhat thick lip or thick lips. If we're going to look the hooks in this way, for the inline hook, the lip is not tapered down. They have more of a rounded finish. Here, this is the lip, so more or less they're rounded. While for the tapered hook, the lip tapers down from the head up, down to the lip, it tapers down. Next that we're going to examine is the groove. So the groove is this one here, the cut or slice. So for the inline hook, from the shaft, there's a sharp cut of this part here. Somehow has a very defined cut here, even if you will look at this way. While for the tapered hook, from the shaft, there's just a very smooth or not an abrupt cut of the groove here. It's like it just tapers down. So that's the groove. Now for the throat is that part, the very end of the groove. For the throat, for an inline hook, the throat is somehow placed deeper from the lip here down, so it's deeper. While for the tapered hook, from the lip, the throat is placed a little bit shallower. So I can say that for a plied yarn, the one that are not twisted, this one is very good because the yarns or some of the strands of the yarn is not or will not slip off that easily, unlike here for the tapered, which is a little bit shallow. But of course that is very much subjective. Other crocheter might have or will have another opinion regarding the type of hook on a certain yarn or this an effect of a certain hook on a particular yarn. Now for the experience of using this hook type or this hook style, which is inline, my experience in crocheting, I can crochet this type of hook in the same speed using both grips, which is the knife grip and the pencil grip, because I tend to crochet larger projects, which is a bit tiring or stressful to my wrist. So I taught myself and even mastered using both grips at the same time. So talking about grips, the grips that I'm talking here is the knife grip, in which you're going to hold your hooks in this way, and then the pencil grip, in which you're going to hold your hook in this way. So with knife grip, most of your hand is placed above the hook, while for the pencil grip, most of your hand is placed below the hook. So I used that grips, or those two grips at the same time, or alternating, because in that way I can provide some rest in one hand from the other. Or let me explain it this way. So when I use a knife grip, the hand that does most of the work is my left hand. So I can give rest to my right hand. But when I use pencil grip, when I use the pencil grip, the hand that does most of the work is my right hand. So I can have rested my left hand. So in that way, even if I crochet larger projects, somehow I can provide rest one hand from the other. I hope that makes sense. And also for the tapered hook, I can crochet both grips still with I can crochet the same speed with both grips using the tapered hook. I don't have a problem with it, especially with ergonomic tapered hooks, like the ones that I have here. I have here a tulip, which is a tapered. I can see that this one is tapered here. Another tulip, which is in red, and then also in pink, which is still a tapered hook, and also this hamanaka, which is also tapered hook, double-ended hamanaka, and this double-ended tulip hook, and also this clover amour here. It's tapered, it's tapering down. And while for the inline hook, I have this one, a prim hook. You can see the shaft. Also this one, another hook, which is inline from Yarnology. And this one, the furls. But I can say that this one is more of a hybrid, because the point is not the same with the Susan Bates. The point is just rounded, but still this one is inline, and then this one here, it's a little bit tapered. So I think this is a hybrid. So that's it for the two types of crochet hooks. I hope I was able to give you insights regarding inline and tapered hooks. I hope also that you enjoyed this video. Thank you and happy crocheting. God bless.